I'm going to have to stick to my words, I'm very nervous. It was rather at the last minute that I thought about, I'm going to have to say words. So I thought I'd start by thinking about why people come to therapy. And the great psychologist Irvin Yalom considered that the four main reasons why people come to therapy or seek therapy are meaning in life, isolation, freedom, and death anxiety. That's just one view anyway. A colleague of mine, Dr. Emmett Larkin, the former medical director of Rampton High Security Hospital, he and I share a conviction. Not only a conviction of driving too fast to work, therefore we are both classed as criminals, but also I can remember him saying to me that one of the main tasks in therapy for this patient group is, in fact, a symbolic form of reparenting. So the meaning in life often does come from one's children. And in this respect, it seems as if I have some rather challenging and unusual symbolic children in the form of music and writing. And this evening, I feel very glad and quite humbled to welcome you all from different areas of my work life and my private life to integrate, perhaps to mingle, and to celebrate the coming of age, if you like, of this book. It has actually taken about 7 years from the first idea until publication, and that duration actually corresponds more or less with the average length of stay for a patient who's committed to a high security hospital for treatment. And there's what we would call a parallel process there, perhaps. My motivation in writing and encouraging others to write about real men and real women who have been devastatingly violent and whose lives and minds have often been devastated from the earliest of their time on earth. It's because actually one gains enormous insight into their inner world most intimately when jointly creating music with them. Bonds grow through music, bonds which can sustain a lifetime. And this is also demonstrated tonight through the presence of many of my musician friends with whom I have bonded over years, from the Rambert Dance Company, the New Queen's Hall Orchestra and other bands, and also my pupils who are here tonight. So moving back to the real purpose of the evening, patients in secure hospital settings actually are rarely represented in the general public in a real way, which may actually engender compassion or at least some understanding. Instead, they are often viewed by the popular press as monstrous or entirely evil. In my experience, and I've known many of them, they've lost heart, so often losing that emotional heart centre by which we, the more fortunate, may live our lives wholeheartedly. And through music therapy, I've witnessed how many individuals, may reavow those heart qualities. And in my view, this is necessary in finding and feeling remorse, a key criteria in the rehabilitative process. And the process of writing this book firstly involved gaining informed consent from certain of those patients quite soon after they'd finished treatment, otherwise it would be too late. And indeed, for some of the authors in the book, this wasn't possible, sadly, but for ethical reasons, it's difficult to gain informed consent from someone who has limited choices. So it's an honour that they have given consent. And then to write and rewrite a viable book proposal. And this only came into being once Helen and John and I agreed to collaborate. So the first people I should thank actually is the patients in their absence. All our patients have given informed consent. And then very much to thank all the contributors, some of whom are here, for their hard work and commitment. For every single chapter there were so many edits, it takes a long time to hone even one chapter. I hesitate to mention anyone by name. You all know who you are. And it gives me joy to see you all here. It's taken many of you and my own willpower to hold me together. All of one piece. And through some hugely challenging, mentally and physically painful times over the last few years. And without the steadfast and reliable support of my friends, my family, professional colleagues and newer friends since the injuries that I've sustained, I wouldn't have managed. In particular, I would like to thank all my supervisors and advisors, and they know who they are. Thank you for being here. And I also want to say a special word of thanks to my mum, who's here somewhere, for her faith, as she has always believed I could do things which I thought were utterly, utterly impossible, and somehow they got done. So thanks, Mum. I suppose in particular I want to express my real value in the loyalty, the support and the encouragement of my team at Rampton, and Victoria's here representing them. My colleagues, my very supportive colleagues in the International Association of Forensic Psychotherapy, and especially Stella, who is such an inspiration, who wrote our foreword. Thank you, Stella. I want to thank John for his amazing diplomacy and patience. And from the world of music therapy, Helen, who has mentored and helped develop my work and the department at Rampton throughout my 11 years of employment there, consistently going on being. When I started in that post, Helen admitted, as I went to her for supervision, that she knew not very little about forensic high secure treatment. But the music spoke for itself in supervision, and when I played recordings from the therapy sessions, she could help me hear the qualities that the patient was expressing. Often qualities so sinister, sometimes not unlike music from an Alfred Hitchcock movie, that really do require that objective viewpoint in order to maintain a safe environment. I would have given up my research a very long time ago without Helen. So thank you, Helen. I have a presentation for you if we found it. Have we found it? Oh, right. Someone nearly purloined them. See? Now, one of these should say, yes, okay. So this one, thank you very, very much indeed. Now, John. Well, without John to mediate, to advise so tactfully, to suggest, to challenge, to delete, that was good, and encourage, there wouldn't be a book. There really would not be a book. We all worked very long into the early hours, night after night, for many weeks. It was a lonely time, and yet amazing, connecting at 2 in the morning, often at a time, until I really couldn't see the words anymore. So John's knowledge and skill in the English language, such a beautiful language that we have, and his editorial experience has been absolutely invaluable. And thank you very much, John. Last but very much not least, I wish to thank Jessica Kingsley Publications for supporting us, for producing something which I hope will inform future generations. So, just for once, it would be so nice if they didn't make the same mistakes that I've made and other people have made, and that the research can develop and continue to build. So I would like you all to raise your glasses, please, to the further development of context-specific forensic music therapy. Thank you. Now we're going to have a little bit more jazz for half an hour, and then that, to finish, my dear colleague Christopher O'Neill is going to, and my student who I'm very proud of, Miles, are going to play some music on the oboe. And it's music that was written for me a long time ago by Paul Hart, our former partner, and it's just been published. And so you're going to have a world premiere, in effect. Having said that, I recorded it for BBC, but it's so long ago, no one will. So please stay for some jazz, have some more drinks. There's lots and lots of drinks. Drink as much as you want. Sit down. Oh yes, and can you please all sign the guest book, because I want to know everyone who's been here, and keep that as a memento. There's a guest
It's
book
just by the door going out, so
well,
you can't go out unless you sign
the
it.
book's not going out, but if you would sign the guest book, that would be lovely. And I hope I can mix and relax and talk with you all now. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming.